Maria-chan?
Yeah, hi!
Nani Gaski? Japanese adult videos. It's loud. Like the moaning.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's squeaky.
yeah, and then compared to like the West, what would you say would be any memorable experiences doing scenes like this?
Pool scene is always the hardest scene to shoot because imagine when you're in the pool and then you're like floating, but then you have to be like stick together, and then it's like
Oh my God, sorry.
I cannot.
I'm sleeping out.
But then I did enjoy the cosplay. In the daytime, they would get like made costume. Maybe it's because I was in that industry. So when I go in showbiz, they're like, we don't need you here. Like it's the different field or something like that. Go back to Japan, or you're like, what did they call me? It was in Tagalog. Pokpok.
What is there to hate? I don't understand. How was it like leaving that behind?
Well, I always wanted to leave the industry while I was famous because
What's the best thing about being the Philippines or the Filipinos?
they're very caring compared to Japanese people. They're more affectionate.
And it's a very different concept.
It's like stripper.
Yes!
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about strippers, but then
Yes, but
I want to go to a host club, like have fun, drink with the cute guys. I don't want to see naked guys.
You saw many already in your
Already,
life.
yeah, I've been there, done that.
Think, talk, tea.
Hello everyone! Thank you so much for watching. And although it might seem like mahaba ang aming show, we encourage you to use our episode as your background audio while you are doing other things. Habang kayo ay nagdadrive, nagko-commute, naglilinis ng bahay, naglalaba, nagluluto, naghuhugas ng pinggan, habang kayo ay naliligo, bago matulog, while you are doing your schoolwork, while you are working. And yeah, feel free to binge watch our previous episodes as well and get ready to be inspired, informed, and entertained. And thank you so much for watching once again. Mabuhay! Hello everyone! Welcome to another episode of Think Talk Tea. As you probably saw in the teaser, my gosh, sobrang exciting ng ating episode because with us is siguro siya yung parang pinaka-excited ako. Huwag kayong magkatampuhan sa mga previous guests ko, but sobrang excited kasi talaga ako na magi-guest natin siya for today. We are joined by former actress, but I still consider her an actress, media personality and businesswoman, the legendary Maria Ozawa.
Hi!
Maria Ozawa, please greet your fans or viewers.
Hi, everyone. This is Maria Ozawa. Thank you for the fabulous introduction. I love it. So
Yes.
nice.
No, I love that you are here. And because of that, I'm gonna introduce myself also.
Yes, please.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa!
Grandest.
Kring-san.
Hajimemashite. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Wow, bravo.
Eh! Oh my God, nagamit ko rin yung Japanese introduction skills ko. My gulay. But it's so nice to have you here
Thank
in
you.
our studio. And okay, let's get down to business.
Okay.
Everybody knows you are half Japanese and half Canadian.
Canadian, yes.
Oh, do you feel more Japanese or do you feel more Canadian?
More Japanese, I think, because I was raised there most of the time. I just visited Canada sometime around middle school, high school. And after I graduated from high school, I only went back once.
Wait. So you were born and raised in Japan,
Yes.
but you also studied in Canada.
Middle school years, yes.
You
With my
studied
grandparents,
there.
yes.
Where in Canada? There's a lot of
Calgary.
Filipinos in Canada.
I noticed, like, back then I didn't, well, you're kids, right? You don't really think about nationalities. But then now, when I think about it, there were lots of Filipinos
Yeah.
in Calgary. I was raised in Vancouver also. Vancouver, they had a huge community there.
Yes.
Yes.
Were there a lot of Japanese in Canada also?
Back then, no, I don't think so. Or where I was living, I don't think so, no. Less Japanese.
And in Japan, where were you from? What was your hometown?
My mom's from Hokkaido. Sapporo.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
very cold.
Yes. So, did you grow up in in the snow?
Well, no, not exactly because my mom moved to Tokyo. So I was
Ah.
yeah, most of the time I was in Tokyo and I don't really like the cold. So every time I go back to Canada, I hated it because, it's like the snow's up to your hip and it's like minus 20 degrees.
Right.
No.
And in Hokkaido, it's same.
Yeah, same. Like, no, thank you.
Oh, by the way, it's gonna be my first interview in full English. So yes,
Thank you for
I
that.
speak English, guys. Just so you know.
Just so you
Just so you
know.
know, I actually I can speak English well. So yes.
Thank you.
So you basically grew up both in Japan and Canada, technically, right?
Technically, yes.
And in
More
Tokyo.
Japan. Yes.
In
Yes,
Tokyo.
yes.
So you spoke in your home with your family.
Japanese with my mom and my brother,
Mm,
but English with my dad. Because my
mm.
brother went to Japanese school, and my mom speaks kind broken English. So English and Japanese, like Taglish, like Japanese mixed English.
So ever since you were young, even before traveling abroad, you could speak English like this already
Yes,
fluently.
yes,
Ah, did you go to an international school?
yes. In Japan, yes, it
Oh
was an
wow,
international
rich
school.
kid.
No, my God, no. That's why my brother had ended up in Japanese school. I took all the money.
Is he like an older brother or onitsa?
Younger.
Ah,
Ototo.
younger
Yes, younger
brother.
brother.
Is he still in Japan?
Yes, he is. He's actually married and he has 2 kids, I think. So he did all the things for me. So my parents are like, I'm free. I can do whatever I can. Thank you, my brother.
Like all the frustration went to the brother.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
yes,
gosh.
yes.
You what did your parents do growing up when you were growing up? Were they
Um,
together?
yes, they were. My
Hmm.
dad was an English teacher.
Ooh.
Yes. Throughout the whole time, he was teaching English to kindergarten schools in Japan,
Mm.
in different provinces.
Mm.
So growing up, I see him teach as a teacher. So it was really nice. But then when he comes home, he didn't want to teach anymore. So that's why my brother cannot speak English.
No way.
And plus, he doesn't really like it too. I mean, he started off his school with like Japanese school. His friends are all Japanese. Back in the days, like 30 years ago, we were like, pointed fingers at in Japan. They were racist as hell. Japanese are racist, right? They're very
Yeah,
racist.
I'm married to a Korean. So, I would know.
Right. So my brother growing up, I think he had more hard time than me because I just got teased in the neighbor kids, right? But him going to school with his like name all in English and surname, he got really like picked on, I think.
He looks super kaijin or like foreigner.
Yeah,
Ah.
he does. So, oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
At
Not
least
my business.
he's married to a Japanese.
Yes, Japanese girl.
Okay, Japanese
Mm.
girl. Okay. Are you still close with your family?
No, not really. I was never really, not really. I left the house really early too.
When you started
So,
working.
yeah, after graduating high school. So that was like 18. I
Yes,
left the house
yes.
when I was 18.
Oh.
Yeah.
My,
So
in
that's
Tokyo.
in Tokyo.
Mm. But you still communicate with them now.
With my brother. The last time I met him was maybe during pandemic, I
Oh.
think, when I went back to Japan.
Right. With your parents.
I met them once, yeah.
Yes,
But
yes.
that's about it.
Sorry, our technical person
Oh,
is saying maybe you shouldn't do
oh,
this.
sorry.
It's
I'm like, I'm
ASMR.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay.
No problem, no problem, no problem. So you grew up in Tokyo or in Hokkaido?
Mostly in Tokyo.
Like-
I rarely remember anything in Hokkaido. Well, I kind of remember my grandparents. They were living in Sapporo.
Ah,
But when I was about to go to elementary school, we were already in Tokyo.
in Tokyo.
Yeah.
What is it? Because we have a lot of, you know what? Back in the day, it's so hard to go to Japan for
Oh, why?
Filipinos.
Oh,
Yeah, so hard.
Oh, right. I thought it's harder now.
No, it's much harder before. Before it was super expensive. And we had a lot of like neighbors who worked in Japan. And then they would bring home like mga pasalubong, 'di ba?
Oh,
Like,
I know that box or balikbayan
yes,
box.
balikbayan box.
Yes,
And then,
yes.
there's a Sailor Moon. And, like, there are chocolates. But it was really hard. So it was for a lot of people who grew up in that era. I'm not going to say, I'm 25 years old only. So it was just, Yes? Yes,
Nothing.
Maria.
No, no, no. I didn't say
Okay.
anything. 25. That's really nice.
Okay, this is some stories from my aunt. So my aunt, my
It's
tita,
not your story,
not
right?
my tita told me back in the day. So your neighbors would be like they're working in Japan, right? And then they will go home for vacation, and then they have a lot of like Japanese noodles, like the
Noodles.
nisin, like
And the cup noodles. Oh my god.
such a big deal
Yes.
before if you
Yes.
get the nisin
Yes.
noodles before.
Yes.
So for a lot of Filipinos who grew up in that era, it's
Mhm.
such a dream to go to Japan.
Wow.
It's like if you go to Japan, it's like you've made it in life.
Wow.
Really. So that's why now when Filipinos when they have the chance to travel, fuck Japan right
That's
away.
why now they're like wherever you go, any district, wherever there is a Filipino.
Definitely.
And then they're all happy. That makes me really happy. They're like always shopping around Don Quixote. And
donkey.
Donkey.
Yes. So it's like it's such a it's such a fantasy for us to
Mm.
go to Japan. What when you were growing up to
Mhm,
now, what
mhm.
do you think has changed?
In Japan?
Yes.
Well, a lot. I mean, I think the Japan before was better, more safer, I think.
Really?
Right now, I don't
Honto ni?
see Honto.
Okay.
Because I don't see Japan right now as safe as it was before. I mean, it is still safer than other countries,
Mm.
but still, with all this traveling and, different politics, different era, I think Japan was more cleaner and more safer back in the days.
Back in the day. It was
Yes.
like the golden age of Japan, right?
I think
80s and
so.
90s,
Yes,
right?
yes, the 80s and the 90s, yeah.
Right. So now the Japan that, for example, me, I first went to Japan maybe like 8, 9 years
Oh,
ago.
wow.
I
Okay.
forgot already. But I was married already that time.
Mm.
My husband he's Korean. He would go to Japan a lot when he was young.
Oh, that's nice.
Because
Because it's close.
It's very close.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
there's a lot of Koreans who would travel in Japan back in the day. They don't need visa. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
for
yes.
Filipinos, it was super hard to get. And before, there was like no Cebu Pacific. So you only could go through Philippine Airlines or like JAL, for example. It was very
Okay, which is
expensive.
very expensive.
Exactly. So we didn't really have that, the luxury to go there.
Wow,
But
wow.
now, for example, for Filipinos who want to go to Japan, where do you recommend that they go?
Recommend. Well, I heard they really like the snow and the cold in the winter time, right?
They do.
They do, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I recommend them to go near anything above Tokyo because that's really cold in the winter. Like Nagano, Niigata, Hokkaido, Aoyama. Those places are like really cold, and they have the best winter festival.
Mm.
It's so fun, and the seafood is so cheaper there.
Huh?
Oh my god, yes. The more up you go, it's so cheap. Like in Hokkaido, if you have like a bowl of seafood donburi,
Mm.
it's like half the price, I think, from Tokyo.
Ah, I see. It's from
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Yes,
But
from
from the
Tokyo.
Philippines.
Oh, but then it's about the same. I mean, like the
Oh.
currency right now in Japan
Right.
is low, and then it's still low.
Actually, that's what I noticed. I was telling him we were just there a couple of months ago, my husband.
Mm.
And then I was like, you know what? When I was young, I remember Japan was super expensive, but now I feel like I can afford it.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yes, and it's kind of like, and then the Japanese people, they're not traveling anymore. Also, they stopped going to the States. Hawaii was their go to. Now they can't even travel to. I mean, here in the Philippines, also, I hear from people that they go to like more cheaper Asian countries.
Ah, really?
Yes, because I have a bar in Vietnam. Also, I was there 2 weeks ago. There's lots of Japanese people, a lot, and I was asking my staff like, since when do we have so many Japanese here? And they're like, I think it's because of the currency. It's like low, so that's
Right.
why
They find the Japanese people find Philippines expensive.
a bit.
Right. The Koreans too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So now they go to, where do you go, babe? Mga Koreans? Vietnam.
That's why.
So your business is good there. Very good
I knew it.
decision to
I
open in Vietnam. We're in Vietnam.
In Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon.
If I go there, I have to go to your bar.
Please let me know. Please, please, please.
But I don't think Ho Chi Minh has a lot of like party.
They do. They
They
have
do?
lots of clubs.
Oh, okay.
In District 1. District 1 and District 2 is the main like little Tokyo area.
They
All
have
the
like that.
clubbing and like the
Mm.
restaurants area and like the massages and all that.
Right,
there.
right. No, before we rolled this conversation. Are you having fun so far?
Yes.
I was telling Maria that I'm kind of geeking out because I don't really get to talk to Japanese people a lot. For the ends every day. But a lot of people don't know that before I became like super locked in on Korean content and culture, I was really like even into Taiwanese and Japanese culture.
Wow.
I honestly, that's why I know you, because I was very active in that scene from maybe 2004 to 8.
Wow.
I was like, I would attend like all these cosplay events. I would go to these events.
In Japan.
No, here. I
they-
couldn't travel. Here.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. Like, who knows news? You know news, right?
Yeah.
Cartoon. Like, I was a like Johnny's fan. I honestly thought I was gonna marry. Honestly, I was delusional. I thought I was gonna marry Ninomiya Kazunari.
Oh my cute. Oh my god. Did you meet him?
Not yet.
Oh, not
I married someone else already, so there's no more chance. But I was fucking obsessed.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
And then I kind of stopped because like it was really hard to consume Japanese content for a certain time.
Right.
Like, what, you want me to buy DVD? All these Korean dramas I can just watch. You know what I mean? The Japanese made it so hard to consume the
Yes.
content. That's why the Koreans kind of took over in terms of entertainment.
That's why.
That's
Especially during pandemic, right? Like
Yes,
it
yes.
went
Yes,
everywhere,
yes,
yeah.
yes. But before it was really the Japanese with all the like the J-pop, you know.
Yes.
And so, do you know people from that scene? Maybe you're friends with Akanishi Jin or something.
Well, well, no, I don't know him personally. But then before, right? When we were like way younger,
Yes.
I mean, kids, we all go to same place, right? Like clubbing or partying, and so we do meet them and
Hang
just
out with
party.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Did you also like these things, or is this like a foreigner looking into Japan kind of entertainment? You know what I mean? Like for me, like for example, I'm a foreigner, but so I like I like Pua, for example. And for example, I like Johnny's Entertainment, or I like anime. Is it like a foreigner thing? Or
no. Japanese. Oh my god. Anime is huge and the locals love it, and they always have these conventions everywhere. Johnny Entertainment, I mean, even though they had such a big news,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
People still follow them.
Really?
It's like religion. They're like, if you once you like them, you're like forever.
Yes.
Yeah. So
did you ever become a fan of like any of these things, like anime or like idols?
No, not really. But I did follow some of the groups. I mean, like bought CDs or like read their magazine.
Which
interview.
groups?
Oh my god! I was a really huge fan of Kinky Kids.
Oh yeah.
You know, right?
Yes.
Because that's
Your generation.
yeah, very.
Yes.
So I grew up listening to Tada Hikaru,
Yes.
Hyde, and like that.
Yes. So that's why I was like, okay, I found out your nickname is Miyabi, right?
Yeah.
But there's also a Miyabi who's like a J-Rock.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Very awkward. Very, very awkward because it's just a nickname that the fans made. I think it came from Chinese people or Indonesian people. But they both countries, they both call me Miyabi. So every time I go to an event or like any convention or movies, they'll be like, Miyabi. So I was like, what? And then they're all looking at me. So I was like, oh, me? Okay. Well, actually, my name is Maria, not Miyabi.
And you're expecting like a J-Rock guy who
Yeah,
come
right.
out.
What?
Yeah, this is still active. Miyabi, he would come here all the time
To the
Philippines.
Philippines. Oh, why?
I don't know. I was like, oh, Miyabi in the Philippines, huh? What's he doing here?
Yeah.
But he would come here all the time. Did you try doing before we get to your main work, how you got into the industry? But did you also try doing like mainstream auditioning for movies or talento?
No, not really. Because after I graduated from high school, that's when I had my debut already. So before my debut, I only did regular part-time jobs. I did modeling because my mom was into it. So that was the only time I was in like, those commercials and stuff like that. But that wasn't really my goal or what I wanted to do in life. So I was really rebel. back
you,
then.
you didn't want to be like an actress.
No, not really. And then
Yeah.
modeling and all that's like, things going on in those kind of industry. It
Mm.
didn't really make sense to me. So I was like,
Mm.
why go all that stuff and, pretend?
Right,
So I
right,
really
right.
didn't like to be like a professional model there. So, but
Mm.
then it's not an excuse for me why I wanted to be a AV star, but
Mm.
that was one of the decision. I was like, well, the industry in AV is like more, it has a darker image to people, but it's just like, it's more clear, like nothing's like really gray it's like really perfect. Like everybody's on schedule, on point, no lies, no whatever. They really take care of you too. Like the manager, producers, everybody in this studio, they really treat you really, really good. So, and then there's no like, lying behind the back, sleeping
Right.
with the producers and like that.
I see where you're going with this
So
one.
I like the honesty part of that industry, which doesn't really make sense to some people. They're like, yeah, but you're like, having sex. But then, yeah, but then at least I'm not doing all that behind people's back to get
Right.
famous.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's really hard to kind of like explain this to people because, of course, how
It's
can
like
you
no, no,
be?
no. But as someone who's in the industry and who knows the workings around, I
Mm,
get what you're trying to say.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. At
yeah,
least with porn, it's like it's clear. This is what
yeah.
I do.
That's
Okay,
it.
that's it.
Yeah.
But if you wanna be, do you wanna be an actress? Well, you have to sleep with me first.
Yes, 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 yes. I didn't like that. So, I
Oh.
mean, it's the same thing, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, now that you have tackled the adult entertainment,
Mm,
we'll get more into the detail of that.
okay.
Of course, when we return, we have more topics to discuss with Miyabi. With Maria Ozawa.
Ah! Yes.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to give us a like, share this video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. And now we are in the topic that I think I don't really want to dwell so much into this.
Okay.
I mean, for the entire conversation, because you're more than this.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, right? That's why I kind of feel like it's unfair
Oh,
because you mentioned before, I read somewhere that you were only in the Japanese adult video industry for like 3 to 4 years
yeah.
around, right?
Around,
All
yeah.
right.
3 to 4.
But like a lot of people, that's their like
Yeah, the image is there, stuck,
yes,
right?
yes. So like
And yeah.
I think it's kind of unfair because you've done much more. Like you've been in the industry what, like 20 years,
20
let's
years,
say.
yes.
Only like 3 or 4 of that is in the adult video. You've done
Yeah.
much more. But I mean, I guess it is what it
The
is.
image, right? And
Right.
it just
Yes.
sticks to it.
Yeah. So a
But
question is how?
why and
Why
how?
yeah. How did you get in the industry? What made you think, yes, today I'm gonna do it?
Well, I had a choice after graduating from high school to go to Canada
Ah,
or to work in Japan.
okay.
And since I was doing different kind of part-time jobs, I really enjoyed working. Like I like to make money ever
Mm-hmm.
since I was a kid. And I was helping like family business and like that. So I had the choice and I was like, there's no way I'm going back to Canada. It was so boring for me. And I was like, okay, if I liked working, why not work in different other like industries? Or I was just like testing myself what I can do. And then I landed on omise. Like, those kepakura,
No.
the bars
Okay.
with girls assisting you, like making your drinks
Ah,
and
like with
accommodating you.
hosts.
With hosts, yes,
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 female
yes.
hosts.
Female hosts. So that was a big thing in Japan and still is here in
Yeah.
Japan. And I was working there and I had lots of friends, the ates, who would work at night at the omises and then do AV in daytime.
Oh.
And they were telling me all the places that they could travel, and when you get famous, you could do this and that. And lots of people in the TV industry, they had, I forgot the show's name, but they had a famous TV show just for the AV girls, like retired and ongoing girls. And it was a big thing in Japan when I was like 18, 19. Lots of people were like really wanting to do this job as a job itself. So I was wondering myself, why is it popular? I didn't really understand, and I was like listening to all to these stories, and I knew I was gonna get in a lot of trouble,
With
but
your parents.
of course, and people around me, like my current boyfriend at the time, but I just wanted to see where it will take me, and I was very adventurous person,
Mm.
so I wanted to like test myself how if ever I debut, am I gonna get famous or do I get to travel to different countries? And I like to meet new people too. And I had a dream of like owning my own bar. So that was my goal back then. But then when I debuted, things got changed, escalated very fast. I was going to different countries already, and then I'm getting these awards here, awards there. And I was like, oh my God, this showbiz kinda is really nice. And that's when I wanted to prove people like wrong that it's not only they do that job just for money or just for the body count or whatever. And I meet lots of people, and there's different girls who wanted to have the same dream as me too, like to spread the word like to different people, like we do have our goal, we have a peace of mind, and it's not just because what they think in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at that time, I think I was just lucky. Like there was no international like half girls who was doing AV. So I was really lucky because I could speak English and other people cannot. So all the foreign Asian countries wanted me to book me
Oh.
for events and like for like any like pictorial or whatever. So that
Ah.
kind of I think was the reason how I got famous in other countries than Japan.
But were you more famous in Japan or in other countries?
I think other countries. I think
Mm.
because after a year or so, I already had invitations to other Asian countries like Taiwan,
Mm.
China. I went to China a lot in my like early 20s, and of course Indonesia.
Mm.
So yeah, it was like traveling. It was like a whole tour, and I was really happy. And the more famous I got, of course, I had lots of troubles. I mean, like to things to deal with in my private life. But since I made a choice, I just threw that out and I just
Mm.
concentrated on business. And once I get famous enough, maybe I was thinking like other people who turn their back on me or like my parents, I could like prove them wrong one day, but it's not that easy. But still, I'm trying.
Ah, they will come around, I
But then
think.
I've noticed, some friends was, on my side. They still like cheer. Well, how do I say this? Like that's the time when I notice when friends are real or not.
Mm.
Because the real friends, they'll stick by you even though you're in like a mess or whatever. They will
Mm.
support you. And I still have friends from that time until now. So if I just have a few friends around me, then that's good. And the other
That's
who
really
left,
good.
it's just their loss.
Right, right, right. Well, sorry, just because like for me, who's in the idol industry, you know what I mean.
Mm.
How we scout people. Okay, scout, and then you train. How does it work? Do you have to audition? Do you have to train for this?
No. Well, you go to the management team.
Oh,
And
so there's a
then
management.
yes, there is. And then there's a producer productive team. And then the manager hooks up with you with random company that might be able to, be a good fit of my campaigning or something.
Right.
And then they make your like everything. They don't really train you, but they just make you have like few interviews with the producers, and then they
Oh.
ask you questions. What can you do, what can you not do? Do you have a goal in this? What do you want to do in like 2 or 3 years from now? And then they just like write up whatever they can to market you. So that's how I first shot the few videos, and then from there it was just like
Walk me through that first film.
okay.
How was like? I mean, like headspace. You go into that. This is my fucking first time.
Right, the studio, right?
Yes, yeah. Also, is it a studio?
It's a studio, yes.
Okay,
They have like
studio.
huge studios in Japan. So okay, the first day,
Mm.
I go to the studio, go straight to the makeup artist room.
Mm.
There you doing your makeup, right? And then everybody comes to you to say the greetings, whatever. They give you a script, and they're like, "This is the itinerary for today." It is like 5 pages long. It's very detailed, like from
Like call sheet. It's a call
it's
sheet,
a call
basically.
sheet. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. And it's like from 8:30 to 12. Do this, do that. You have your lines. And then from 12 to 5, pictorial for the DVD packaging. And then
Right.
from 6 to 7, dinner. And then 8 to 12, another scene. And then 12 to 3, whatever. And then finish at 4. So that was the regular time zone back in the day because they didn't really have any restriction or
Yes, back
anything.
in the day.
So it was so hard because there was no end to it. Like when you finish, then it's done. It doesn't, the time didn't really matter. But now, thankfully, after 12 or 13 hours, you're not supposed to work.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even in
So
the Philippines, right? Even in the
I think
Philippines.
so, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Korea also, it's like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I think the world has changed. Like, we don't have to shoot 24 hours a
Oh
day
my
anymore.
God. Without any extra pay.
I know, I know. But I have a question though. Like for 12 hours,
Mm.
I mean, I've not your film, not your film. Promise, I swear, not your
Okay.
film. But I've watched.
Okay.
I watched.
Oh,
So
okay. International or like Japanese?
Japanese. I mean, a lot
Oh.
different, but mostly Asian.
Ah.
Yes, but it's like one scene. It's only like 20, 30. Like,
Right.
how can it be 12 hours?
But then the shooting time is like an hour to 2 because it's not gonna be like, okay, we're there, start.
Oh.
And then it's not gonna be smoothly. Like you have to do this cut, this cut, this cut.
Oh.
One cut is like maybe like few minutes and then they'll zoom out, zoom into different parts of your body to the guy and all the other stuff.
But same position.
Different.
No, I mean like for example, like that. Then you shoot like here first.
Right.
And then cut, zoom in, direct,
And then
zoom in.
he will walk to this side and
Yes.
then walk to this
But
side.
same scene. Like,
Same. And then imagine the guys. I mean, I still don't
I know.
understand how they were able to do it. I mean, everybody's like saying, "Oh, JV stars are so nice that they're like, hustlers." But I think the male AV
how
porn
do
stars,
they keep it up?
yes. So sometimes when they cannot, that's the time when we have to wait for them to get, energetic again.
Oh my god.
So that's like another 30 minutes or 20 minutes. They have to concentrate and they're in the other room or whatever. Or if the girls are like close with the talents,
Uh-huh.
they just like, do whatever off screen and then come back.
I see,
So that's what
see.
I heard. So
Right.
all in all, it takes like a day and a half to shoot for one
One
movie.
one movie.
Yeah.
So it's like so physically
Super.
taxing.
Oh my God, yes. Very, very tiring. It's not like, okay, go in the scene. Okay, you're finished. Next scene. It's not like
It's not,
that. It's not like
yes.
that.
I think it's
Oh
even
my
more
God.
taxing than like shooting a movie, for example. I feel like.
Maybe.
Because like with the movie, for example, our scene is drinking coffee. Throw lines, cut.
Right. Right. Yes.
But
Very
it's not
fast.
physical. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Unless you're being asked to cry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yes,
hard.
that's
That's hard, right?
hard.
Okay, cut. Cry again. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
hard.
yeah, that's hard. That's
But
hard.
for the porn,
Yeah, it's so
moan again, moan.
I was like, what?
So who gives those instructions? I've been wondering that. How do they know the part when they have to change the position?
It's just, I don't know.
Natural.
Go by the
there's no, like,
flow. Sometimes
writer.
there is sometimes when the girl's like a newbie or when they're confused and then the
Uh-huh.
director will be like write it down and then like show it so it's not seen in the camera. So when you think about it, sometimes when I used to do interviews in Japan, they would like ask me details, right? And then I was stopped by my manager one time because I was giving too much detail. They're like, "Oh my god, cut," because then the fans are not gonna like it.
Oh, the fantasies.
Yeah, because the fantasy is gonna be broken, and then they need to imagine like they're having fun.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like,
yes.
yeah, erotic, but so it
Correct,
was
correct.
funny.
Do you get the script before you shoot or on the day?
On the day, in the morning. I know, right? So imagine you have to remember all this. Well, the script, the line's not that long, and you could kind of like mix it in your own words. So that's not a problem. But then you have to remember everything during your makeup. That's like an hour or so, right? So you have to remember all the details and bring that script with you downstairs, and you talk with the director, talk with your male partner, and then after the scene you have to think about the other lines that you have to do. And then you know how Japanese people are detailed in drama
Yes.
scenes.
Yes.
I sometimes think like I was like, okay, I'm here to shoot AV, and why am I like a actress? Like I have to this whole line that I have to say before going into the studio. It's like, what did I sign up for?
I know. And so fudge, I didn't know that. I thought like before you go to the location, obviously you
Mm.
should know already. Because in the normal acting, before you go, they give you the script ahead.
Right, yes. But
Ah.
then the directors, they just write it the night before, I think, because
Ah.
they shoot every day. Imagine they're shooting different segments, different like themes,
Scenes. Yes,
scenes with
yes.
different people in different studios every day. So back in the days, I don't know if they do it now, but the directors, they would just book themselves a hotel or like a love hotel near the studio, and then write the script, the everything in 1 day or 2 days, and then they go to the studio, go back to the love hotel, write it all down, and then go back to the studio again. So there's no like no life.
Wow. Do you also get to decide who your partner is going to be?
Yes, if you're well, if you're famous enough, like
Oh.
if the producers and everybody, if you have your own like status, and
Hmm.
if they like you enough, they when you have an interview with them, they will ask you, do you have like anyone that you want to shoot with, or do you have anyone that you're against with, or any makeup team that you like that. Yeah, I
Wow.
know, they really treat you really really good.
Right. So what if you come there and then you're like, oh, okay, I don't want to have sex with this guy? Is
You
it
can't do that. You can't do that.
ah?
You have to, or else you're like, I don't know. I've never done that, so I don't know. But I heard some girls, they just like don't show up, or
Oh,
they're,
they
I don't
run
know,
away.
they ran away. They're too hangover to shoot. The girls are so crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
But
I can imagine. But before shooting, do you have any preparation that you have to prepare?
not that I can think of. Well, for example, if I go out with my friends, I'll try not to drink too much, or like the food, so I don't like smell like hot
Yes.
pot right next
Yes,
day.
yes, yes,
So that's
yes.
about it, I think. But it's a really small industry. Everybody knows everybody. So
Mm.
one mistake, everybody knows the next day. It's all there. Like for example, if the guy couldn't, have a good scene or whatever, the girls talk. And then if the
Oh.
girls were like, they're like smelly or something like that,
Oh,
the word will go around in like that day.
but
So
I mean, speaking of
pressure.
smelly, I mean, of course you have to take care of it
Of
down
course,
there,
of course,
right?
of course.
Do you need like every time you go to the set? Because I read about it for Hollywood, but I don't know with
Oh,
Japan. Like they have to present like STD,
yes, yes,
like the
yes, yes.
HIV.
You
Ha-
have to, you have to. So in those ways too, I think it's very safe industry. Again, it's really hard to convince this to people, but it's very safe because every weekend or maybe at least twice a month, you have
Mm.
to get those tested. And one mistake or one check mark, you cannot film anymore, and you have to pay for the fee because everybody was like
Huh?
getting ready for you. You're the main actress. But
Ah.
then if you back out, the management team's gonna pay for you, and then you have to pay them later on. So you don't want to do that, right? So you have to be very careful in your private life. Like don't fuck around. So I thought it's kind of safer industry because those other girls going around clubbing, they
Uh-huh.
get STDs or
I guess, I
they
guess.
go fuck around people. But it's really, I didn't understand why they're the one who would talk bad about us. Like they will look down on us. They're like,
You mean the
oh
mainstream like
yeah,
idols or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah. Like that didn't make sense. But for me, it was just like a safer zone to stay in the industry because then at least you're protected
Mm.
by your managers and you get all these tested and you know that you're not, in trouble.
Oh, I watched this white girl who's
Hmm.
working in Japan.
Hmm.
And then she talked about this on TikTok, I think. And then she was saying that before she shoots a scene, she has to read like a legal document, three pages at least in Japanese saying like this is what I'm willing to do. Like basically
That's
stating
now, right?
yes, that's now.
I think the law changed
Ah,
because of all the things that happened in my days or after I retired. So many problems with the management team and the girl and the producer, money problems and all the time thing, and
mm,
they were having so much problem. And then this past maybe 5-10 years, people change, right? Like
of course.
they're not that loyal or they're crazy. So it's normal for them to skip work or they just don't happen to
Mm,
come. So that's why they got really, really strict. They have to really sign documents that say, I will be part of this. And if I won't, I'll pay like whatever fee. And it's,
mm.
yeah, I heard. And then the talent fee, the fee for the girls is getting lower. So I was like, huh, of all the things you have to do and you get this much less money and everything is going downwards, I think, from my perspective.
You
So
know why?
I,
Because of OnlyFans, I think.
oh yeah. And during pandemic,
Yeah.
everybody bloomed in OnlyFans.
Yes.
So the professional girls are not getting work because
Yes.
the regular no, not the regular girls, but
The
the
amateur.
amateur,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
They can earn money so easily.
Is that big in Japan?
It was, yes, it was.
OnlyFans?
Only one, yeah.
But now not
But then
anymore.
in OnlyFans in Japan, unlike in the States, the girls in the industry does it. So
Ah,
during the pandemic, they couldn't shoot, right? Or they
right.
couldn't go out. In Japan, we weren't having like lockdown or anything. We just had to take care of ourselves. So it wasn't really that strict like here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
But, it's just like image. It's not good, telling people that you're shooting porn during
Right.
pandemic. So
Right.
I think the girls, the industry, the management team came up with the OnlyFans for the girls to just, keep it up with the
The
earning and the
money, yes,
the
yes.
lifestyle. So that's what they do, but it's all managed by their manager.
Ah,
Yes,
I
it's not like they
see.
do it on their own.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. During your time though, did they pay well?
Yes. Yes. But I heard like from people before me, it was bigger. So
Ah.
it's even though I got paid really well, it's getting lower, 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 lower.
Do you get paid per day or per film?
Per film.
Mm.
But when, for example, the company wants to get you for like a year or 2 year contract, they just pay you on the spot.
Eh.
I know, right? So imagine like I'm 18 and I get this huge amount of money. That's why lots of girls they just like they go to different bad directions because
Right.
all of a sudden they have this huge amount of money in their bank account. They don't know what to do. They're living on their
Their own.
own. So many temptations, bad temptations. So usually they, you know,
They do stupid shit.
yeah, and they can't come back again, or they just like get
Mm.
jailed, or
Oh.
people passed away also.
Ugh.
I know, right? It's so traumatic in
Right,
Japan.
right.
But that in Japan, that's kind of like our culture thing. I mean, like people do.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah. I know what
So
you
that's
mean.
really sad.
Right, 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 right. Nako, lumalalim ang kwentuhan
It's so
with
hot in
this.
here.
I know. So mamaya papagangin natin ng konti sa pagbabalik ng Think Talk Tea. Hello mga katsaa, maraming salamat sa panonood. Kung nag-enjoy kayo sa video na to, siguraduhin mag-like, i-share at mag-comment sa baba. At kung gusto niyo pang mapanood or mapakinggan ng mga iba naming episodes, please subscribe. Before we took the break earlier, I didn't get to ask you, who amongst the people that you've worked with in that industry, who were your favorite?
Favorite? You know what? It's really hard to favor the male actors because if you have this like special feelings towards them, or if you keep on seeing them in every other shoot, you build this relationship, right? And then it's so hard to work with them. Like, because if it's just work, right? It's
Right.
like, okay, we go on the studio, we go home. It's just work. But then if you have like feelings for him, it's so weird because you can't get jealous because it's work. You can't be too into him because then he'll be shooting with your friends.
Oh my
It's
God!
like it hurts so much. So I never had favors just because of that reasons. I had some actors that I will see often, but I think I had more male actors that I didn't want to work than I wanted to work. No, it's because like no vibe, and maybe
Mm.
they're like too old or they're too like they start to give you like life advices. And
Oh.
when you're in the industry long enough, and maybe I'm in my third year or so, this male actor came to the makeup room. They're like, "Oh hi," and I was like, "Oh hi," and then he's like, "So do you have any life plans? What are you gonna do after this? I heard you're gonna like retire in a bit," and I was like, what? Like I was already going to different countries that time. So I was telling him maybe I'll open a bar there or do like other events, maybe
Mm.
do like radio on my own. And then he's like, very, very like father, like they will give you like life.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got
And then they're
it.
like, you can't be in this industry long. It's gonna destroy you. Like, I mean, like, yeah, but look at you. I mean, what?
Yeah.
It
Coming
doesn't
from
yeah, it's
you.
like it doesn't make sense. Like why are you giving me life advices? I mean,
Right.
so there's some people I didn't like the talkative guys. Like talkative
Oh.
like the Tito types, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. How about for girls? Did you have any favorite girls to have? Well, you did scenes
No.
with girls, I suppose.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay.
No, actually no, I had lots of good friends until now.
Uh-huh.
We're in this like small group, but girls are so much easier to work with.
Oh, really?
I you can't make friends with everyone, but I think I had more friends than like enemies or whatever.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah. They're
right. There
all
were no like cat fights or like you know how girls are like
yeah.
jealous, like oh that Maria Ozawa bitch. You know what I mean? And
Ah.
then they would like talk shit behind your back. Did you have any experiences like that?
Um well, to be honest, I don't know because when I was in the industry, the management team they really try not to have the girls be in the one same room because
Mm.
they'll start talking about their
Payments.
payments, and then it becomes a trouble. Sometimes the girls are dating the manager or dating the producer or like the male actors too. So when they talk it's like really a big no-no for them, so it was really hard to make friends, but we will wear way out and then like we will make friends. But then the friends are like not the big mouth type. We were
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
secretive. We didn't really tell everybody that we were friends until we were like 2 or 3 or 5 years later. So we don't have any trouble.
Mm.
But yeah, it was really kind of weird, but very fun watching other girls dating other male porn actors. They would cry while we were drinking. Like, I'm so jealous. But I can't be jealous because it's work. If I get jealous here and say don't go to work, I'm denying myself, which is true.
Yes, yes, that's true.
So it was really hard.
But were you able to like do it with your friends' boyfriends as well?
Boyfriend. Did I think so. Yeah, one guy. He's
Oh.
famous already, so everybody met him
Ah,
before.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
So
That's
it's like
why.
you can't really say anything about it, but it's kind of weird. Like I try not to have that much communication or look him in the eyes. Like I couldn't do that. I was like, oh shit.
Ah, what would you say would be any memorable experiences doing scenes like this? Or
Memorable.
yes, could be an NG, could be fun.
Several times we had a studio with pool, huge pool,
Hmm.
and the studio it was owned by one of the talents in Japan. They sold it, and then the studio company bought it, right? So it's all like the furniture, everything is there, the pool, the beds, it's so perfect, but. The pool scene is always the hardest scene to shoot because imagine when you're in the pool and then you're like floating, but then you have to be like stick together, and then it's like coming in and out.
Yes, and there's chlorine.
Yeah.
Ah,
And it was so hard. It's funny, and then we were like both drowning. And imagine that trying to have a scene when you're drowning, and there's like, "Whoa." And then there were like so many NG scenes because the director started to laugh, we started to laugh,
you'll be
and
like, direct cut. Oh my god, sorry,
I
sorry,
cannot.
I'm sleeping out.
Exactly, exactly. So those days were fun, but then not too good for making a video, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes. Did you have any okay, so I know like with Japanese porn particularly, there's a
Mm.
lot of like genre
Yeah.
or categories like the JK. What's JK again? DK and JK. Like the
JK
uniform.
is that, yeah, yeah,
The
Japanese,
uniform.
yeah.
Then you have like the I don't know,
They love those.
police. You have the
Yes.
cosplay.
Yeah.
You
And then
have
like the family,
yes, and then you
whatever.
have the in the beach.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
like
They love the
like there's a theme always. Do you
yes.
have any particular genre that you like or category that
That I like?
that you prefer or like okay, I like doing this. This is fun.
The the genre. But then I did enjoy the cosplay.
Ah, really?
Like I had one shooting that I had to change into 7 different costumes. And that was hard, but then it was fun because for example, in the daytime they would get like a maid costume, and I don't really wear maid, right? Well, I mean, who does? I mean,
Yes, yes.
until yeah.
Correct.
So that was kind of fun. Like you could go into character, you could like fake yourself being like the kawaii type, right?
Yes.
And then as the time goes by, the uniforms or the cosplay will be like more hardcore, like
Like
bondage.
latex. Yes,
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 yes, yes, and
yes.
the whips. So when I was doing that the whole day, it took like maybe I don't know, 15, 20
I
hours to
was gonna say
shoot.
maybe
Yeah,
15
yeah.
hours.
But it was fun, like wearing costumes that you usually won't wear or usually what you won't pick. And it
Yes.
gets to like, it was fun acting out and like stuff like that.
Yes.
Crazy. Japanese people are like they have like so
The
they're
fetish.
very, yeah. And everything is like so in details. Everything
Mm.
is in details.
I have a question though. I think a lot of people might be interested about it. Okay, in Japanese adult videos,
Mm.
it's loud, like the moaning.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's squeaky.
yeah, and then compared to like the West,
Yeah.
compared to the West, like, are you okay? You know
I
what I mean?
know,
Like,
right? Are you
are you okay there?
That's true.
Is
Oh
it
my
does it
god.
hurt? You know
I
what I mean? You
know,
don't
right?
know.
No, but then the thing is, the more you make a loud noise, that means it's like a sign.
You're having like you're enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
are you being directed? Is it like the direction?
No, not really. Well, the director will always say, "Don't just be silent or
Yeah.
just don't do nothing." But I don't know Japanese AV. They just came up with a squeaky noise, and then that's what they do, and that's what people like.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's a very Japanese thing, right?
Right, right,
So
right.
that makes it different from the other AV or the porn. So I guess it's good. It's doing
Yeah.
well.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's what they call this trademark.
Ah, right.
You know what
Yes,
I
yes,
mean?
yes, 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 yes,
It's a
yes.
trademark already.
Mm.
But you're already retired from that.
Yes, yes.
How was it like leaving that behind?
Well, I always wanted to leave the industry while I was famous because, of course, you can be there as long as you want. And the producers, they would always tell you to stay and just leave whenever you're ready. But then the more you're there, the more you're gonna get lost, right? And you're not gonna be like famous forever, right? And then, of course, the money wise, it's gonna go lower as you're not famous anymore.
Yes.
So if I was gonna do different work or different kind of like genre, I had to do it when I was still young and active and famous.
True.
So yeah, I was telling I had a huge fight with my boss and my management team. Of course, they wanted to let go, but I was like, you really have to. I've done so much for you guys. Like you have to let me go, and then
Yeah.
that's how I kind of flew away to
Right,
different countries.
right,
Yeah.
right. But when you left, you made such a big impact.
Oh, really?
Maybe you and I think the only names that I know from that
Oh.
time would be you and maybe Awi Sora.
Yeah, yeah. I think she made a more bigger impact because she was very famous, of course, and she moved to China, right?
I didn't know that.
Oh, right, really? She was like,
It's not like I'm a fan
I know,
of Awi
yeah, but
Sora.
I know, but you seem to know everything. So,
That's just my personality.
okay. I mean, I mean, she was so huge in China back
was
then.
she?
She was like, her nickname was like the teacher, sensei
So,
of the industry. So when she moved to China, she learned Chinese, and I think she was able to speak Mandarin back then. And she had all these like huge gigs, all these like things that she was doing back then. And then I think around the time she left Japan, I was still in Japan, but going on and
different
in and out.
countries.
Yeah.
Right, right,
So I was
right.
like, well, if she's doing that, maybe I still have a chance to do it in some other countries. But I didn't know where to go, like where to settle down.
Mm.
But it was in Japan for sure. And back then, I already had a bar in Japan. So that was like my dream come true. So I really
Yes.
wanted to make that stable. But I went to, of all the countries I went, Taiwan, Indonesia, every other Chinese, Asian countries. When I came here in the Philippines, I was like, oh, it's something very new. Nothing that I really experienced before in other countries. I mean, like culture wise, it's so different from Japan. And everything. People are nice here. It's always summer. I love it. And
Yes,
then
true.
the beaches are nice. The food's good. In general, people were really nice. And I was
Yes.
really shocked in a good way. I was like, oh, how can people be like, Thailand is known for land of smiles, right? So
Mm.
I thought it was like here also. They're really nice. And then I
Mm.
did few gigs. I did radio and magazine shoot or something like
I think
that.
you did a movie before also, like back in the day.
That was after I settled here. Yeah.
Ah,
So the
yeah. Okay,
first
okay, okay.
2, 3 times I was here, I did that guesting and I really liked it. And I was like, okay, if
Mm.
there's an opportunity here in the Philippines, why not? And that's when
Yeah.
I moved to the Philippines.
Right. And you've been
Yeah.
living here for how many years now?
10 years. I know, right?
Wow.
10 years.
And
Oh
can you
my
tell them what your
God.
visa is?
Yay! Permanent visa.
PR, bitch. I mean, just for people who don't know, it's really hard to get PR, huh?
Mm,
It's
mm.
not like for foreigners. I
Oh my
mean,
God. It was. Oh, it took me like a year or so to get it. And of course, the immigration people, they know me, right? So they're like, oh, you're here again. And then they're like, why don't you just marry a Filipino? And it's so much easier. I'm like, no way. I'm not gonna marry for a visa.
oh yeah,
That's a fucking big no for me. It's just like, what? How am I gonna get out if I wanted to?
just for
Yeah.
the visa, right?
Yeah, why?
That's
No.
stupid. That's
Too much
stupid.
pressure for
Yes,
me.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I just wanted to get a working visa or something. And then
Right,
I
right.
was lucky enough to get a permanent visa.
But since like 2015 you've been living here, you have also established your businesses, correct?
Yes.
Which we will talk about later, but you've had businesses, you did some like showbiz gigs,
Yes,
and
yes.
you also had quite like a public relationship.
Yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes. Is it the reason why you stayed here longer because you were with someone who's like
Um,
based here?
No.
I
I mean,
know.
like, of course, that was part of the reason, maybe. But then the reason why I'm always here in the Philippines, or why I wanted to be here, is because of the business is doing well. I have lounges here, and I have great friends, and as long as I have work or I'm in good hands, I want to stay here.
I mean,
So
you could have opened the business, let's say in Indonesia or maybe in Thailand.
Thailand.
Why did you decide to like kumbaga lock in here in the Philippines?
I don't the vibe, I guess. I really liked it here. Like when I first came here, there was no bad image or like negativity. I mean, like people were very conservative and judgmental, but I
Are
mean,
we conservative?
I thought so. I don't know.
Oh.
But the first few years was really hard to adjust here in the Philippines. But I mean, I thought every interview I do or whatever I guest in a show or something, I always get like backlash or like people would be really, really mean. They're really mean. But then, who cares about the haters, right? I mean, like
Right.
the haters are your most supporters of all. So
But what do they say about wait, what is there to hate? I don't understand. They don't like your porn? I don't understand.
I don't think it's about porn, or maybe it's because I was in that industry. So when I go in showbiz, they're like, we don't need you here. Like it's the different field or something like that. Go back to Japan, or you're like, what did they call me? It was in Tagalog. Pokpok. Yeah, so I was like, oh my god, how can you be so mean, you Filipinos? But that's just like,
Very
small,
small.
very small.
They're gonna die too.
Yeah, they're dead already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't listen to those bitches.
So, but then, but that was like, oh well, those people are gone anyways, I
Yeah, but
think.
I mean, like, eventually you were able to adjust.
Yeah.
And now,
After.
what is it like? Because, of course, like being married to a foreigner, an
Mm.
East Asian at that. Because I think marrying a white person might be different. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Someone from,
think so.
but marrying maybe a Japanese or a Korean or a Chinese or whatever, it's a different route as
Yeah,
well.
yes.
What's the best thing about being the Philippines or the Filipinos?
The best thing, they're very caring.
Caring.
For one, I compared to Japanese people, they're more affectionate. They really tell
Mm.
your feelings. They really care about you. They worry about you. I like that the action that they take, girl or boy. Like
Right, right.
they're so caring. Well, I'm not want to say anything negative about Japan, but then it's just our culture. We don't really show our feelings, and there's no "I love you" or like giving you flowers or
Oh.
well, some do, but most of them don't. And those gentleman stuff that you're looking for a guy, you can't. It's really hard to find that in Japan. So when I first came here, I was like, oh, okay, remembering all the people from the different places.
So it's like Filipinos are more expressive in a
Yes,
sense. I
yes.
think that's our Latin blood.
Yes, I think so. I think
You
so. And I
know?
really like it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But then what is like the worst thing about being here, living here, or what? I mean, you live here. You can say whatever you want.
Worst thing from like somebody?
Or whatever.
Worst,
Like fucking traffic. I don't
the
know.
traffic. Yeah, the traffic's so bad. It takes forever to get to one point when it's
Mm.
like, on Friday or payday. Oh my God, I hate
Ugh.
that. But other than that, bad thing about the Philippines, I don't know. Sometimes people are too nosy. But then that's like everywhere too, right?
Nosy.
Yeah.
Just a Philippine thing. And noisy also. And I don't know with Japan, but like whenever like for example, I'm abroad, blah blah blah. Oh, someone is I was in Kyoto a couple of weeks months ago, and I was like me and my husband were walking, and then we heard someone. He said, I think they are Filipino. They're literally across the road, right? And I was
Yes.
like, I stopped and then listened. Oh yes, they are. I understood what they were saying, but they're super loud.
Yes,
And
yes,
even
yes.
in Korea, I was like, I hear noisy people. Philippines. It's so normal for us, to be
Yeah, it's easy to
to
spot
spot.
them.
Yes,
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 yes.
yes,
It's
yes.
the energy is so high.
Very, very. So that's a good thing too. But then,
Definitely. I love it.
yeah, it's really, really good
Well,
thing.
but
Just sometimes just like, can you be a little bit more quiet?
yes, yes. Especially in Japan, like if you go to public transportation, shh,
Ah, yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
But then you have someone, oh, eto na nga.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nakita ko na nga siya dun sa di ba? there's a like, kabayan. Kabayan.
Oh my God, yes, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. What other cultural differences did you notice or did you
Oh my God, a lot. I mean, first off, religion.
Ah,
Because here, more Catholic. Japan, well, Buddhist or they're
Shinto.
not Shinto, yes. And I mean, they're not atheist or anything, but it's just that they're neutral. They don't like, it's just they don't believe in anything. I mean,
Agnostic?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
they're not against anything, but then they're not really religious people in Japan. They're just like,
I generally Japanese they don't have religion. But there's a lot of like ghosts in Japan.
oh yes, we have so many ghost stories. Very like
Spirits in Japan
oh
are
yeah.
crazy.
Yes. If you go to Kyushu area, the south area, there is a lot of haunted places. Of course, Okinawa and Hiroshima and Nagoya.
Oh, really?
The three places. Oh my God.
Why?
Because like war
Ah.
and the Americans invading Japan and Okinawa is
Ah.
like, they still have the camp and lots of people died. So,
Oh.
when you talk to the grannies and the elderly people, they will tell you scary stories. And there is lots of I don't know the exact word to say this in English, but those people who talk with spirits or like,
What is it in
those
Japan?
it's called Yuta.
Mm,
So
like psychic.
something like that. But they kind of
Medium.
all in together. Like
Right,
they talk with those stuff, they heal you, they do all that stuff, right? Yeah. So those people are very like huge in Japan.
In
Yes,
Japan.
yes, yes.
More cultural differences between Filipino and Japanese when we return with Maria Ozawa. Kayo ba ay nag-e-enjoy sa aming mga chikahan? Kung kayo po ay natutuwa sa episode namin, please help us in spreading the word. Please like this video, share this video, mag-comment po kayo sa baba at paniguraduhin mag-subscribe sa Think Talk Tea. Thank you. So, ayun na nga, cultural differences.
Yes.
A lot of people probably know you had a Filipino boyfriend before. which is
Right.
like, serious business yan. 4 years
Yeah.
kayo.
Yes, yes, yes.
But I'm not gonna ask why you broke up because you already answered that many times.
Yeah.
But after that, you have a new boyfriend now.
Yay! Yes.
Who's really good looking.
Really?
My style.
Oh, thank you.
I-
I mean, maybe it's because he has a future of like
Very upa.
oppa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very oppa.
Yeah. The
You know,
oppa vibe.
Yes, oppa. But what's his name?
His name is Hiroki.
Next time,
Hiroki.
bring him.
Really? Can I?
Well,
Or you could interview him.
Oh my God, how?
Yeah,
He speaks
Japanese.
Do I speak Japanese?
You were speaking.
How? Oh my
But
God.
then he's learning English. Like this past year and a half or 2 years, he's been studying English every day.
Here,
every
here
morning.
in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
yes, here. So he knows more.
How long have you been together?
We've been together 3 years, almost 3.5.
Okay, 3 and a half.
Yes.
Oh yeah, almost 4. Yeah, but going to 4.
Going to 4, yes. After,
Okay.
during pandemic.
Pandemic, right. And how did you meet each other?
So when I went back to Japan during pandemic, the
Mm.
first year was like really, I didn't know what to do. I was like, stressed out because I didn't know when I can come back to the Philippines. And then after I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, I was just like, doing my own business. I had my bar, like drinking. And then one day I went to this bar, like next door to my bar. And then I always see him drinking with my friend who's the owner of the bar. And I was like, oh, okay, who's this guy always drinking like shots and having fun with his friends? And then I was asking my friend, and he's like, who's that guy? And he's like, well, he owns his bar around the corner also. And he comes here often with his like customers, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, next time if I see him, I will say hi. And then couple weeks or months later, I see him again. So I was like, hi, do you want to have a chat with me? And then he's like, okay. He's like, who are you?
Who are you? Doesn't know you?
No, he didn't. So that was like a plus for me too. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I could be just like myself, right?
Right.
And we started drinking. We were like talking about things. And he was like telling me he worked at the bar back then. And it was really close to my bar too. So
He
we
was
were like,
working at that bar.
no, different bar. But we all three were like in the same area.
Okay,
So I
okay,
was like,
okay.
oh my God, of all this like time I was here, we never bumped into each other, blah, blah, blah. But then, yeah, so we became close. The first time we were like, okay, let's go drinking. We ended up drinking like 12 hours. We met up at like 6 or 7 p.m. And then I think we went home around 6 a.m. So I was like, okay, I think I cannot let go of this guy because it's very rare to find a legit guy who is good looking and can drink, tolerate with me, and not go cray when he's drunk. So I was like, what's your number? You're mine.
But at that time, did you know like his age? What did he do for a living? Those things?
No, I didn't know his age. I just knew his name and he was working at a nearby bar. And so he came to my bar. I went to his bar. We went to our friend's bar. We were just like drinking in that area because Shinjuku is very small.
Everybody
Knows.
Shinjuku.
Yes, yeah. So everybody knows everybody, and So yeah, and I liked the vibe. I think he liked my vibe. But one of the few times when I was at his place, the bar, I think one of his workers, the staff, they noticed me and they told him about me. And then he didn't tell me until like couple months passed. And then he, out of the blue, suddenly was like, so you're Maria Ozawa? And I was like, did you know? Or how did you find out? And then he's like, my staff told me. I'm like, okay.
Mm.
And what do you think about it? I mean, are you like
Okay with
triggered?
it?
Yeah. Are you okay with it? And he's like, well, it's your past. And he's like, he's like, who am I think he was like, who am I to judge? I'm not like that like perfect person also. So I was like, oh my God, okay. I love you.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, he's
cute.
really nice. He's really,
What's
really
his birthday?
nice. September
September what?
14.
Virgo.
Virgo. Yes,
Mm.
Virgo guy.
19.
87.
Okay, Toki. What's Toki? Uh, Rabbit.
Rabbit. Mm. So, but yeah, he's really nice. Really, really nice.
Mm. But he's like I saw some of their videos. He's really good looking. That
Yeah,
guy, no?
and very healthy too.
He goes to the gym.
yeah, workout, all that stuff.
What does he do now with you here?
Well, he goes back and forth in Japan because he still work there. But here,
Ah.
I didn't get his like any. Well, he was gonna do a gym business here,
Hmm.
but this is so funny. He was partnering up with other Japanese people, right? And then they had the place they were gonna go, and then, okay, this is gonna be it. We're gonna open a bar. I mean, a
A
gym.
gym.
They got scammed. I know. And then he was gonna be in like a protein business also. Because I have my cosmetic. I just launched my cosmetic and the lab there. They do all this like organic stuff. They make organic soap, shampoo, everything. So they were like, oh, why don't we make like a brand, like protein brand, since he's always going to the
Mm.
gym and the gym was gonna open and
Mm.
stuff like that. And when they were doing taste testing and all that, they found out that the whey was like it was supposed to be 9% whey, 1% sugar, right? But it was
I don't know.
no. So we didn't want sugar because I don't like sweets, and
Yeah.
in Japan we don't have a sweet tooth. So I wanted to make
Yes.
a protein shake that's easier to drink. I mean, I don't want any chocolate flavors or cocoa flavors. I wanted like natural flavor. Like maybe the sweetest will be like yogurt or something
All
like that.
right, right.
So we were doing all that lab thing, taste testing, going to the gym back and forth. But then one day we found out from the lab team that we were telling them it has to be 90% protein whey and then only 1% sugar. But when it came out from the test, it was other way around,
Oh,
9%, 90% sugar, which is a big no-no.
what the
I know,
hell?
right? And then by the time we found out, the guy who was gonna be in between the factory and the business and
Like the middleman.
the middleman, he's gone. Took their money and
What?
I know. So all that and then the gym
Was it a
thing,
Filipino or a Japanese?
Chinese Filipino.
Oh.
So I didn't know what to tell him. He was really, really, really depressed. He was like, "This is it. I'm gonna have my own business. I'm gonna get a working visa." And he was so hyped up. And then this happened. And then the gym didn't work out. And then the protein thing, they're not doing it anymore because
And
it takes so much time to
of course, to
make.
develop it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know
So
what to tell him? If it's not meant, it's not. It's
it's not
okay.
meant to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't push it. Don't force it because
yeah. The time will come.
yeah, and even if you launch it, who knows? It's not gonna be successful, or
I know,
you know what
right?
I mean.
Maybe we would have like lost money
So it's
anyway.
better to
Know it
before you
before.
start.
Yeah,
That's true.
yes.
That's true. That's true. But are you more comfortable now being with a Japanese guy?
Yes, easier. So much easier because like sometimes when I well, yes, I can speak English, but sometimes when you're like very emotional or when you're like fighting and you're like you want to say everything. It has to be in Japanese too sometimes. Like that
Yes.
certain word, it comes out in Japanese and it feels so much better and it feels so much like
Impact.
impact, yes, like damage, 100% damage. So when I was with other foreign people, I even though I do that, they're just gonna stand there looking at you like, what the
Yes.
hell, right?
Yes, yes, yes. But you know, for me, the language difference, language barrier
Mm.
was an advantage
Oh,
for me, for our relationship.
of course.
But it doesn't work for other people.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely
it's
doesn't
really
work with other
hard.
people. And do you see yourself getting married?
Married. Well, I don't know. Maybe if the time comes, or I'm not in a rush. Lots of people are like, I like kids, like my friends' kids or my cousins' kids, my brother's kids. They're all cute, but I don't know if I'm ready to have kids or married. Maybe okay to get married. Kids, I don't know.
Okay.
Uh, are you?
We don't have children. We
Oh,
decided not to have children.
okay. So that's
So
one part of the decision, right?
yeah. So I understand where you're coming from because
Yeah,
we decided to get married, but we decided not to have children.
yeah. I mean, like the world we're living in, is it a good place to give
Oh,
out?
but Japanese needs children.
I know. No, Japanese have to have sex. They're sexless. That's why they're getting divorced. They're not getting married. The girls are getting more like those women power whatever thing. They're going abroad. They're leaving the Japanese men because they're getting weaker and they're looking at only animes. They want to marry their idol.
What? What do you mean they need to have sex?
I mean, they're sexless. I mean, they're too busy working,
Yeah,
one.
well,
And second, they're not like the aggressive type from the beginning, right?
yeah,
So,
true.
and
Ah.
then comes like all this like taxes and the currency things
Right,
coming
right,
in and
right.
people leaving Japan. They don't have kids. They cannot. They don't have the time to, I think.
Oh, so they just
And-
watch your videos.
yeah. That's more peaceful, I guess. Yeah, so that's one of the biggest problem. Yeah, they need kids. They
Yeah.
need to develop more people there. But it's really a problem right now in Japan, I think.
So having children is not yet but you haven't really thought about it yet.
Me?
Yeah.
No, having a mini me. Oh my god.
Oh,
the
your
res-
past is gonna
Oh my God,
everything that you
right.
did when you're young,
I
your
know,
rebellious
right?
nature.
Imagine your daughter pinning you in the corner like you're mom. Like okay. I mean, like, how I don't know. I cannot see myself like taking care of a human for 18 years. Like that's a
Yeah.
lot of responsibility.
It is.
And even though they're after 18 years, you're their parent forever, right?
That's true. You cannot just escape it for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. So now in the Philippines, the reason why you're here is definitely you have a lounge business.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know what lounge is.
Oh, okay.
I know,
Oh, yeah.
but a lot of people don't know, and they kind of like feel weird about going to these places. And I'm like, no, it's fucking fun. Can you tell us about what a lounge is?
So they have like a different image of what a lounge.
Yeah.
So when you talk to like random Filipino people and they say, "What do you think about a lounge?" What would they say?
Well, first they don't know what the term lounge is.
Oh, they don't. Oh,
So they would think what you would lounge in like sofa. What kind of lounge?
Like
So there.
airport.
Oh, but there. First. Second, this is why you keep on saying lounge, and I'm like, I don't think people know what she's talking about. Second, if they know the concept, they'd be like, oh my gosh, there will be girls there and whatever. And I'm like,
Really?
so tell them what a lounge
Okay,
is.
okay. So my main business is owning lounge, gentlemen's lounge, and lounges here in the Philippines that I have is like I really wanted to have a Japanese concept in the lounge. So when you go inside, it's like a bar, but it's more like mix of regular bar, speakeasy, and a club all
Yes,
in one.
yes.
So when I say it's like a club, it's because we have a stage and we have singers, we have DJ, we have our counter booth and VIP rooms, which you can sing for karaoke. And we have like sofa tables for whatever if you just want to, be entertained by the music. And when I say lounge, it's the term comes from Japan, I think. It's like omise, like
Yes.
a host type.
Yes.
And so we have girls, if you want to drink with them or if they want to accommodate you, they will sit next to you and just like listen to you talk, make
Yeah.
drinks for you, and they'll just like buy you drinks. Very healthy. But I do understand when you were like saying they don't understand the term lounge because I've had so many people thinking it's that kind of place where you can like get the girls and take them out.
Take them home. Yes, yes,
home,
yes.
yeah. So when I first heard about that, or like when people tell me, is it that kind of like, like a go-go bar thing? I was like, but the lounge and go-go bar is so different. Why would you like, put it together?
Yeah.
But that's the culture difference that I learned
Yes.
too when I came here. it's so totally different. Like when you speak of like lounge or bars, sometimes, and especially they just assume because I own it, so it's gonna be like, oh, so you have girls that you can take home. So it's like, see, oh my god.
Yes, yes,
But
yes. But you
I think
can't.
no, 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 no.
You can't.
You just drink with them, and I mean we have trouble, enough trouble. I mean, like sometimes people will come and they become regulars, right? And then it's okay. You just come to our lounge whenever you want. Like drink with your. Sometimes people don't have girls' requests. They just drink on their own.
True.
Use our bar like a club, and then they just go home happy. Some
Yeah.
people have our girls like just to talk with them, but sometimes I have the girlfriends and
Oh.
wives. Yeah. Before, this is way back when we first started the business, messaging me or messaging my friend who knew me saying, oh, I think my boyfriend's there. What the fuck? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? But, I don't know what's really been going on with that, but I will always tell them that before you assume or, get pissed off at my girls or my business, you really have to take care of your man too. I mean, some of the people, they just come to the bar or lounge or not even my place, different places. They
Yeah.
take their ring off or they just, pretend that they're single. And how are we supposed to know if they tell
Exactly.
their story like
Exactly.
that? So it's really hard to to explain that when they're very like pissed off. But I try to stay calm and like, it's legit. If you're worried, you can come and see. But then sometimes, you just have to battle with those kind of people.
Yeah.
But I try to, be peaceful. The lounge is very legit
Yeah.
just to have fun. And we have like a sports bar too.
As well.
Yes, as well. So if you want to play darts or
In that same lounge.
yes.
Okay.
So in Makati, we have the lounges on the basement floor, and then the upper ground we have the sports bar. So you can choose, like if you want to do sports or watch sports, you could just stay there, and if you want to drink, you can come down there.
most
and-
of your most of your clients, are they Japanese or Filipinos or like Western, like international?
It depends on the location. The one that we have in Pasay, it's near the airport, so more international, but more on the local side. But the Makati branch, more Japanese, because it's near Little Tokyo and like the Japanese area. Yeah.
Okay.
And they stay in, it's next to a hotel called New World Hotel.
Yes, yes.
So lots of Japanese people stay there and like their company there. I think it was like during end of the year last year or beginning of this year, they were having trouble coming into the Philippines because of like, I think the country itself was like giving them like they were getting targeted or something.
The Japanese
Yeah,
tourists?
yes. So they were saying if you're going to the Philippines, just stay in the hotel.
Ah.
Don't go away. Don't go around to different places. But sometimes if you don't know the place well enough, you don't know the danger also, right?
Right,
So they
right.
just, you know how they cannot speak English.
Yes.
And they just like have their like Gucci bags or like Balenciaga bags and just walk around.
It's true.
And that's like, come on, man.
Not here.
Like, not here.
Not
And
here.
it's like, are you here to brag? Like,
Yeah.
go home, change.
Yes, yes.
So they
true.
had to find it a hard way. But then since they're staying in New World, it's easier for me to just like tell them to just come down safer.
So
you don't
it's
have
like
to-
it's when you go down from New World, it's just beside.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. So it's much safer and you don't have to go out and
yes,
then
yes,
do
yes.
things. So
But since they're Japanese, can the girls speak Japanese?
some of the girls, yes. Yes, they have to. They
Ah.
have to.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So more of the girls in Makati branch, they can speak Japanese.
You should have males.
Males, I do want. I want, hero.
You know why? You know why? Hero, please.
I want my boyfriend to open up like a
Please.
muscle bar.
Well, I'm not a muscle. I'm just a
okay.
Johnny's type guy, but but
Boys
like
bar.
there, yes, but there's not a lot of like male host bars.
That's what I noticed. I was
Very
so surprised.
few.
I was so surprised. I was kind of looking forward for that too. I was like, okay, Philippines, okay, they're really cute and all, and different Asian people come here, right, to work. So I was like, okay, where's the host clubs here? And I'm like, what?
None.
There's none.
There's none, and it's a very different concept.
It's like stripper.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about strippers, but then
I know.
I want to go to a host club, like have fun, drink with the cute guys. I don't want to see naked guys.
You saw many already in your
Already,
life.
yeah, I've been there, done that. I want.
But if in case you wanna go, let's go together.
Yeah, please, please,
Yes,
please
yes.
show
But-
me the places.
Yes, yes. But in the Philippines, not so much. I
Not
mean,
so much,
definitely.
no.
So I think that's a good business. Like,
Yeah.
tell
yeah.
Hero, please.
I will.
Please,
will.
Hero, sit down, serve me drinks, please.
Yes.
Please.
Please cut me the fruits.
Yes,
Yeah,
the fruits.
the fruits. Yeah.
The Filipinos are like, why are they serving fruits? But because the Koreans, they serve fruits as well.
Oh yeah, yes.
But Filipinos, they don't eat fruits with drinking.
They don't.
They don't.
Yeah,
We don't.
They don't.
So it's like, why is there a fucking fruit platter?
That's why.
It makes you hydrated. That's what they told me.
Yes.
But I'm not sure about that.
Oh my god. Oh,
I
okay.
mean, we should go drinking together. Next week is my birthday. But I'm gonna be in Korea. So when I come back, we should
yes.
we should drink. We should drink,
Please.
LJ. Please.
Yes, please. Let's
I
go,
wanna
let's
go to your lounge. I wanna
I'll
see it.
invite you guys. Yes.
Please.
We have really nice food platters.
Can I also invite Hero? Hero, please. sit down.
Of course.
Will you be jealous?
No,
Hero, sit down.
no, wait,
Please
no.
mix
yeah.
my drink.
Yes. Slowly. Of course, I'll bring him.
Oh my God, please, LJ, let's schedule when I come back
Yes,
No, I
yes.
want to really experience your
please,
lounge.
please. And we're opening one more in Malate.
Are you treating
So-
me or I'm gonna pay?
I'll treat you.
Okay.
Of course.
Because no, is it expensive your bar?
I don't think so.
Ah.
I mean, I don't know.
That's the problem. A lot of people they get scared. Oh, maybe I have to spend so much.
No, I have never got a complaint about the money system because it's
I
really.
got scammed. I cannot tell here. But one no, after this.
Where? Okay, later.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yikes.
So when we return, we're gonna wrap up this conversation before I even expose myself more. All right. So we already set up our hangout, girls'
Yes.
night out. And what's the name of your bar in Makati?
In Makati, Le Salon Luxury Lounge.
Okay, it's like French.
Yes.
Okay, French. Just to wrap things up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're having fun here in the Philippines. That's why you're staying here for so long. What do you like any Filipino food?
I do actually. I do. It's really well, I started with the basic when I first came here, like adobo, sinigang, and like that. But during pandemic, I tried to learn how to cook them. Like I really like soupy stuff. I mean, like during the rainy season, you like to drink soupy stuff, right? So I adapted myself making them. I really enjoy them. But I'm really not a big fan of the breakfast style. 'Cause
Like
when
the
you-
dried food, the dried fish.
Yes, and like deep fried
Yes, like
fish, chicken, anything, and then garlic rice. It's like so heavy, right? So other than that, I love Filipino food. They're so good.
right.
So good. Maybe it's because in Japan we don't really have like salty food. Like it's very like plain, right?
Yes, maybe that's why. I mean,
Maybe that's why.
I'm not a fan of Japanese food, which is weird.
Oh yeah, why? I was gonna ask.
I don't know. It's not like,
Like
okay,
in-
I
in
eat
general?
sushi, I eat like the normal. I'm not a fan of noodles. Like even
Oh.
Korean, Japanese, Chinese. It's like, yeah, I'm a rice eater.
Rice. Okay.
So okay, fine. So noodles is already out of the way.
yeah,
So what else is you
They're
know
in
what I
Japan.
like?
Mm.
So whenever we go to Japan, it's like there's no fucking vegetables. It's my problem. Japanese cuisine doesn't have so many vegetables,
Yeah.
right? Compared to
Yeah.
Korean, it's like every meal there's like
everything is like there's side
vegetable,
dishing.
right?
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes,
need
yes.
vegetables. So that's one.
Okay.
So there was like one trip
understand.
in Japan, like it's like 5 days already. We haven't had vegetables. I already had crabs. I had all
Alright,
of
the
this.
seafood,
Like, I had
everything.
everything, but I haven't had. So even when we went to order, it's just kimchi. It's
Right.
right?
And then like salad or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
so it's like,
okay.
well,
Okay.
I love Japanese pastries.
You
that
do.
that one, like the bakery, like the bread, the pastries, like the cakes. That one I really love. But like the meal, the food, it's
It's
not.
like okay. It's just
okay.
normal.
Yes. I mean,
okay.
it's not like if I were to go out, like, do you want to have Japanese food? I can eat it.
Okay, but it wouldn't be on your number one list.
Right, right,
Okay,
right,
okay,
right.
okay,
Just
okay.
because there's not a lot of vegetables.
Right, right.
Yes.
Too simple too.
Is it not? Is it? Is it?
No, I mean taste wise. It's not like it's very
Ah,
less salty.
there's no savor.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
But in the Philippines, in your house, what do you eat? What do you cook?
I cook. What do I cook? Random stuff, but I'm a big fan of noodles. I love noodles, like spaghetti, pasta, everything. Like noodles that goes, karage, the chicken
Yes.
fried. I like to make that and then
Mm.
eat it with my noodles and or
Mm.
like the Chinese style noodles, the spicy noodles. I
Right,
love
right.
spicy food, so I
Ah.
order like lots and lots of Chinese food at home, and then
Like
I try.
mala,
Oh, I love it. I love it.
really?
I love it. I love it. The spicier, the better. Wasabi. I love wasabi. I like dip like half of the tube. Well, that's too much. But then,
Oh.
yeah, like I mean, that's how much I love it. I love spicy
Oh,
food.
maybe it comes from your French side, from Canadian side.
Maybe, or maybe since I went to lots of like other Asian countries when I was young,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
adopted that
Like
spiciness.
Thai.
The Thai, the pasty
Right, right,
stuff.
right, right. Okay, okay.
So yeah.
Now, this actually, just to wrap things up, this conversation up, this space, our Think Talk Tea space, is what I call the manifestation table.
Wow.
So, if there's anything that you would like to, like dream that you want to happen, materialize, what is it? And the universe is listening to us.
Wow. Wow. You just dropped the huge bomb. Like, I wasn't expecting this. What would I want?
Yeah, what is it that you want to manifest and to make real in your life? You have to really believe that it's possible for you and it's gonna
Of course,
happen.
of course, of course. Well, first off, business, right? And
Mm.
I really, really hope that we could like expand more. Like the lounges and the bars. I hope we could expand more here so I could keep myself busy and I
Mhm.
could stay here in the Philippines and it's just I just really hope that whatever I do, any kind of business, it would go well enough so I could like make a living and I could have a reason to stay here. But
Mm.
that's just my worry, I guess. Like business wise, I hope it will just go on forever.
Don't worry.
Huh?
Don't worry. You know why? If for example you have a business, it doesn't work. There's a reason why it doesn't work. It didn't work because something else is meant to work. You know what I mean? There's
Yes.
literally no need to worry about anything that we're doing. Because you're just here to experience being human, right?
Yes, yes.
That's why your past, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Because you had to go through that to learn.
To be where I am right
Yes,
now.
yes. Your soul
yes.
had to go through that to be where you are.
Yes, yes,
And
definitely.
to learn whatever you need to learn.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah,
My mentor.
No need to worry about anything. You're gonna be taken care of.
Oh,
For sure.
thank you.
And how do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now?
To 2030.
Okay, that's like how old would I be? 5 years from now. I hope I'll at least get married by then. At least
Ooh.
marriage, yes. And I think I really have this big dream about having a beach wedding. I really want to have a beach wedding. Ever since like when I was like a kid, I really wanted to have a beach wedding because it's so nice and everybody's like, the beach, why not, right?
Yes, it's so possible.
It is, yeah.
Especially here, like
yes, you have so many options.
where do you want? Let's say it. Manifestation table. Where? Which which
Where? Which beaches? I don't know. I haven't done research, but then anywhere that I haven't been, like maybe Palawan.
Wow!
Yeah,
Hey!
that'll be so nice.
My gosh, with the sunset, ano?
Oh my god.
You know what? Like,
sunset.
I'm friends with Liza De Castro, the actress from GMA. She had a beach wedding in Zambales. Holy Mother of God. Ay, sorry. But it's like, because in Zambales, North, South, East, West, it's the West Philippine Sea, right?
Okay.
So, their backdrop is this,
Oh my
it's so beautiful. It's the most beautiful wedding I've attended.
Oh my god.
So, you don't
wow.
even have to go to Lake Palawan. I mean, kasi Zambales or Batangas, it's just like road
Just
trip, right?
yeah. Easier to go.
Easier to go for even for your guests and everything. So something to consider.
I
Wow.
will.
Yes.
Zambales, wow.
Zambales or like that, like the
That
left,
area.
the left side. Correct. And what can our viewers, our listeners expect from the Maria
What?
Ozawa? You don't know how legendary you are. You have to realize, like your name is like how many people have that kind of name that like okay, I know I know her. You know what I mean? That's brand. That's
Wow.
like that's value. What can we expect from Maria Ozawa?
What can they? Well, I certainly hope that I could have more. I really want to like, now that I'm old enough to like invest in different things, products, or like different bars and anything like that, business. I hope that I could do more of those merchandises, or like, to have, like, when I invested on my cosmetics, I really just wanted to have that, not for like huge success or whatever. I just wanted to do for like memory, and like to see how people can, see where I've got, like, there's very less people who have their own product after being in the industry where I was. So I hope that I could manifest in that and have like more of those product, and just have a simple but amazing life.
Yes. Okay.
Hopefully.
Yes, yes, yes. And how can they learn more about you? Your social
Mm.
media?
Social media, I'm almost in all of social media: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
Maria Ozawa. Just
Twitter,
look for Maria
just
Ozawa.
Maria Ozawa. But
Yeah.
there's lots of fake accounts
That's
also.
why.
That's why YouTube and my Instagram has a blue check mark. But
Ah.
then Twitter and the other one doesn't have the Facebook. So sometimes I really have people messaging me saying I was messaging to a person who thought was Maria Ozawa and
Oh,
almost got scammed. And then they
right.
was like sent screenshots. And I'm like, I really don't understand people who does that for a living. I mean, like, they're very bad. But just follow my YouTube or Instagram, because that's legit. And then from there, I usually like post on my stories like what I posted on Facebook or Twitter or other social media or any other guesting that I did. I always like let it out on my Instagram. So
And also, like, you also post there about your lounges, your
yes,
businesses.
yes,
So if they
yes,
want to
yes.
know more, if they want to order your
Oh
cosmetics,
yes,
they
yes,
can definitely find
definitely,
out there.
definitely, definitely.
Miss, how do I call you? Maria
Uh,
Chan?
yeah. Hi.
Nani Gaski?
Oh my god, you know it! Oh, nice! Oh my god. You know what? That trend is like getting me crazy. It's like trendy. I went back to Japan like few months ago. Oh my god. Everywhere.
How
Everybody's
was
like
it?
shooting
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
Ah, strawberry for the Aba.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god!
god.
I'm so happy to have met you and to have
Thank
had this fun
you.
conversation with you. And I really hope to get to hang out with you more.
Yes,
We're doing
please.
it next week, LJ, when I get back
Yeah,
from
when you come
Korea.
back,
Yes,
please let
yes,
her
yes,
know, and
yes,
then
yes, yes,
we will
yes, yes.
schedule.
And cheers to your lounge business success.
Arigatou
And
gozaimasu.
and to more kampai, kampai, right?
Kanpai,
Kampai, yes.
kanpai.
So see you guys again next week. Thank you so much for watching. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou.